What if I told you that some of the rarest, most exotic, and downright legendary cars ever built have been sold for prices that could buy entire mansions or even private islands? Barrett-Jackson, the world's most famous collector car auction, has been home to some jaw-dropping, wallet-crushing sales. We're talking multi-million-dollar machines, each with a story, a legacy, and a price tag that'll leave you speechless. Stay tuned as we count down the most expensive cars ever sold under the Barrett-Jackson hammer, because the final one, it's a record-shattering legend. Number 12. We're kicking things off with a car that needs no introduction, the legendary 1954 300SL Gullwing. This is the car that made swing-up doors cool before supercars even existed. This beauty has 4,149 original miles, one of only 146 built that year, originally purchased by the legendary Willett H. Brown from Hollywood Mercedes. Under the hood, it's all original except for one repaint in its original color. There are no Frankenstein restorations, no parts bin surprises. The engine, the interior, the soul of this car, untouched. The lucky owner who bought this got original tools, the manual, the service book, and registration cards dating back to 1962. Oh, and the original wheels, tires, and hubcaps, because why stop at just owning the car when you can have its entire history in your garage? This is the kind of car that makes people stare, makes collectors drool, and makes other vintage cars feel a little less special. $2.2 million for the chance to own one of the lowest mileage Gullwings in existence. You gotta give it to the owner, who was ready to drive home in the most iconic Mercedes ever built. While 2.2 mil is no small number, trust me, this is just the warm-up. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more jaw-dropping automotive content. Now, let's get back to the list because this next car is on another level. Number 11. Imagine it's the 1930s. The Great Depression is in full swing. Many people are barely getting by. Meanwhile, Pierce Arrow decided to build a futuristic luxury machine with a price tag only the ultra-elite could afford. It was ahead of its time then, and even now it's still turning heads at auction. If Batman lived in the 1930s, this would be in his Batcave. The 1933 Pierce Arrow Silver Arrow is a masterpiece built when cars were more than just transportation. Only 5 were ever made. Just 3 still exist, and one of those 3 sat right at the Barrett-Jackson auction for a whopping sum of $2.2 million. This machine was pure madness for 1933, a top speed of 115 miles per hour, making it practically space travel back then. Long, sleek, and futuristic, the Silver Arrow didn't look like anything else on the road, because nothing else was even close to being this cool. Let's talk numbers. It had a $10,000 price tag back in 1933, which was more than most houses cost at the time, making it a car for those people who wanted to stand out, turn heads, and make people whisper, "Who is that?" This particular Silver Arrow was once part of the legendary Harrah's Auto Collection, getting the full Harrah's restoration treatment before joining the prestigious Blackhawk Collection. This was the first public auction of a Silver Arrow since 1973. It meant moments like this don't come around often, and yes, it did deliver with its huge price tag. Number 10. Some cars are about style, others about heritage, obliterate records, and it's the second Hennessey Venom F5 Roadster ever built. Out of just 30, it's rarer than a winning lottery ticket. This car packed a twin-turbocharged 6.6-liter Fury V8, punching out a jaw-dropping 1,817 horsepower under that citrus orange carbon fiber skin. 265.6 miles per hour is the top speed, with the power going straight to the rear wheels through a 7-speed automated manual with a limited slip differential. The translation is that this thing grips like it's holding on for dear life. The whole body is a masterpiece made of carbon fiber monocoque, aluminum subframes, and butterfly doors because regular doors are for regular people. For stopping power, it features carbon ceramic brakes with blue painted calipers, 6-piston up front, 4-piston in the rear. Inside, it's just as wild. Carbon fiber seats wrapped in citrus orange and black leather, a carbon fiber steering yoke because a regular steering wheel wouldn't do justice to this monster. But the best part? It comes with an aluminum treasure chest. Inside, you'll find a chassis-numbered carbon fiber jewelry box, a key fob, tow hook, trickle charger, shot glasses, and other goodies. If that's not luxury, I don't know what is. $2.2 million gets you a piece of the Hennessey Elite. But here's the thing, the next car on this list is not just rare, it's royalty. Number 9. Long before AMG was making fire-breathing Mercs, Mercedes was building rolling works of art like this. The 540K Special Roadster was the definition of pre-war luxury, elegant, powerful, and built for the world's elite. This car is a one-off body by the Mayfair Carriage Company. The factory records even refer to it, roughly translated from German, as "we moved the whole drivetrain back just because we could." That move gave this beast a long, low stance that makes it look like it's speeding even when it's parked. But it gets more interesting. This car's backstory is so mysterious that even the best automotive historians can't figure out why a right-hand drive chassis was originally sent to Paris. Some say it was commissioned for an Indian Maharaja, others think it belonged to a British expatriate living in France. Whatever the truth is, one thing's for sure, it landed in all the right hands, from private collectors to casino moguls. At some point, it was black over silver, but then it got a makeover that turned it into a red-hot showstopper. It went through multiple restorations, upgrades, and decades of loving ownership. When the gavel finally dropped at $2.42 million, a lucky collector walked away with a car that embodies class, power, and a high level of exclusivity. With a supercharged 5.4-liter inline-8 under the hood, it's got power to match its jaw-dropping presence. As stunning as the 540k Mercedes-Benz is, it's about to get even more extravagant because up next, we've got a Bentley that redefines what coach-built luxury meant. Number 8. The 1947 Mark VI Bentley was a rolling mansion. Custom built by French coach builders Ferrari, it was the most luxurious Bentley of its time and went down at the auction for nearly $3 million. It's not just expensive, it's the most successful post-war Bentley ever. It has won more awards than most Hollywood actors and doesn't even need to rehearse. This beauty is straight out of a Bond film, except even James Bond couldn't afford it. With over 50 show wins and a reputation that makes other Bentleys blush, this Mark VI Fernet has dominated every concours it entered. Best of Show, Royce Memorial Trophy, Pio Corner-Royce, you name it. If cars had egos, this one would be impossible to live with. Underneath the miles of polished chrome and flawless paint is a heart that purrs like an aristocrat's private orchestra. Everything about this car was elegant, from its flowing fenders to the luxurious interior that probably smelled like old money and fine cigars. The gavel hit at $2.75 million, and let's be honest, that's a steal for something that will forever be the crown jewel of any collection. Either way, you wouldn't believe what's coming up next because it's one of the wildest Ferraris ever made. Number 7. Ferrari has made some legendary cars, but the last of the Enzo-era Ferraris, the F40, is the ultimate Ferrari. The poster car for every kid from the 90s, but this one isn't red. This example is wrapped in a sinister, one-of-a-kind Nardo gray. This F40 is an early production, non-cat, non-adjust example, which is code for as raw and untamed as Ferrari ever dared to make it. The F40 has no fancy tech, no driver assists, just raw power and one of the most recognizable designs ever. Originally delivered to the Netherlands, this speed demon has a history with some serious track warriors. Ever heard of David Hart and Michael Opry? Yeah, they flogged this bad boy down in the Ferrari Porsche Challenge series. Oh, and about the power, a stock F40 would already knock your socks off, but this one, and depending on the setup, you're looking at anywhere from 700 to nearly 1,000 horsepower. That's the kind of power that turns knuckles white and makes tires beg for mercy. This example has been pampered like a royal. The Zanassi Group in Maranello, the official paint shop for Ferrari's tailor-made and Icona editions, gave it a fresh new livery. Before that, it had an eventful past, race prepped in the 90s, repainted yellow, driven hard, and then brought back to glory. Now, it went up for auction, and someone with a strong enough heart and an even stronger bank account took it home. While $2.75 million is impressive, the next car proves that sometimes, even failure can become priceless. Number 6. The 1948 Tucker Torpedo was supposed to revolutionize the auto industry. Instead, it became one of the biggest what could have been stories in car history. Only 51 were ever made before the company collapsed, and today it's a piece of American automotive mythology as it went under the gavel for a cool $2.915 million. Everything makes the Tucker Torpedo so special. Preston Tucker wanted to build the safest, most innovative car of its time, and he pulled out all the stops. Rear engines like a Porsche, disc brakes before anyone else had them, and fuel injection decades before it became standard. But the most important feature is the Cyclops eye, a third headlight that turned with the steering wheel. Imagine a moving headlight in 1948. The design was wild, low, sleek, and shaped like something out of a sci-fi movie. It was supposedly the most aerodynamic car of its time, with a drag coefficient of around 0.3. Inside, you got safety features unheard of at the time, a padded dashboard and a windshield designed to pop out in case of a crash. Preston Tucker was trying to reinvent the automobile, but unfortunately, the business world wasn't ready for it. The company folded in 1949, leaving only 50 production models and one prototype in existence. This particular Tucker, chassis number 1043, has been meticulously restored to show specifications. The engine, the body, the interior, and everything else were just as they should be. Speaking of speed and mythology, the next car on our list is a modern beast that shattered records. At number 5, meet the car that redefined hypercars. If Batman was a billionaire playboy with a need for speed, this would be his car. The 2018 Bugatti Chiron is a monster with an 8-liter 16-cylinder engine strapped to not one, not two, but 4 turbochargers. That's 1,500 horsepower, more power than an entire row of muscle cars at your local drag strip. It went from 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds, meaning if you blink too long, you'll miss it, and a top speed of 261 miles per hour. This example comes in an exposed blue and black carbon fiber finish. No paint, just raw, high-tech beauty. The interior has blue leather and more carbon fiber than a Formula 1 car. It's got everything you could want in a hypercar: navigation, Bluetooth, a 7-speaker 3D sound system from Accuton, because you gotta hear your tunes over 1,500 angry horses. This beast was delivered brand new to Bugatti of Beverly Hills, meaning at some point, a Hollywood big shot probably sat in it and considered buying it before remembering their assistant forgot to transfer funds from their offshore account. At the time of auction, it had 4,225 actual miles, meaning someone actually drove the thing instead of locking it away in a garage like a priceless piece of art. $2.97 million was the final price of taking this machine home. The owner got 2 blue keys, a speed key which unlocks the Chiron's true potential, and an aluminum Bugatti chest containing a battery tender and a car cover, because even the car's accessories need to be fancy. By now, you must think that modern engineering is impressive. However, for our next car, we'll take it back to 1956 for a machine that made history. Number 4. We started this list with a Gullwing, but this one is the ultimate spec, the most desirable variant of one of the most iconic sports cars ever built. $3.4 million for the 1956 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing Coupe that was once called the first true supercar. The 1956 Gullwing Coupe got royal restoration treatment, a 3-year body-off Concours quality restoration, every nut, bolt, and piece of German engineering wizardry painstakingly brought back to life. It's got Rudge wheels, fitted luggage, and not one, but 2 sets of seat cushions. You can go full leather or mix it up with some patterned fabric, giving you options. The car left the Mercedes-Benz factory in Stuttgart in 1956 and landed in Rome, where it was originally sold through Mario Mariscalchi. Fast forward a few decades, and it found its way into the hands of collector Roger Escalay before ending up with the current owner, who spared no expense in bringing it back to showroom fresh condition with over 3,000 photos documenting the restoration, along with every invoice. The drivetrain features a 3-liter inline-6 with direct fuel injection, mated to a lightweight space frame chassis. The kind of stuff that was cutting edge in the 50s and still impressive today. The engineers at Mercedes were ahead of their time, which explains why the 300 SL Gullwing is one of the most sought-after cars on the planet. We're not done yet, because up next, we've got a car so new it hasn't even hit the streets yet. Number 3. Every Corvette is special, but the 2025 ZR1 VIN 001 is collector gold. The very first production model of Chevy's upcoming powerhouse brought in a jaw-dropping $3.7 million, with NASCAR owner Rick Hendrick winning the Corvette at auction. Now, you might be wondering, what kind of magic does Chevy have packed into this thing to justify that kind of price? Well, let's talk numbers. How about 1,064 horsepower? This thing is powered by a 5.5-liter twin-turbo flat-plane crank V8, making it the most powerful Corvette ever built. With a top speed of 233 miles per hour and more downforce than any Corvette before it, this is akin to a missile. The optional ZTK performance package turns it to a full-blown track weapon, with a suspension so dialed in it could make a fighter jet jealous. But the best part is that 100% of the hammer price went to the American Red Cross, so not only did someone take home the top Corvette to ever roll out of Bowling Green, but they also helped a great cause in the process. $3.7 million might sound like a lot, but when you're getting VIN 001 of the most powerful factory-built Corvette in history, that's a price worth paying. But here's the crazy part, this is still not the most outrageous sale we've seen. We'll find out which car has that honor next. Some cars are rare, some cars are fast, but number 2 on our list is legendary. The original Batmobile crime-fighting machine from the 60s TV show, built by the great George Barris himself, sold for an absolutely batty $4.62 million. It started life as a 1955 Lincoln Futura concept car, but when TV producers needed a ride for Gotham's Caped Crusader, they turned to the king of custom cars, George Barris. With only 15 days and $15,000 to work with, he transformed it into the legendary Batmobile. The result was the most recognizable piece of pop culture on four wheels. This isn't some cheap replica, it is the Batmobile, the one Adam West and Burt Ward slid into before tearing out of the Batcave in a cloud of crime-fighting justice. It's got the Bat logos, the flame-throwing exhaust, and enough retro gadgets to make James Bond jealous. George Barris held onto this car for decades, refusing to part with it. But in 2013, it finally hit the auction block. Fans, collectors, and wannabe superheroes went head-to-head, and when the dust settled, one lucky biker got to take this legend home. We've got one more car to talk about, and trust me, it's in a league of its own. Here it is, the most expensive car ever sold at Barrett-Jackson. The 1966 Shelby Cobra 427, Carroll Shelby's personal super snake. It was built to be the fastest, most ridiculous Cobra ever. A one-of-one, twin supercharged, fire-breathing monster that Shelby himself called the Cobra to end all Cobras. $5.5 million later, and it's officially in the history books. Inside, you've got a 427 cubic inch V8 sitting under that aluminum hood, and because one supercharger wasn't enough, they slapped two Paxton superchargers on it. Double the boost, double the fun, double the chances of scaring yourself silly. This beast was originally a full-blown race car, which meant no mufflers, no windshields, no bumpers, just unfiltered madness. But Shelby wasn't about to let a little thing like legality stop him from taking this thing on the streets. So he added the bare minimum to make it technically legal. Did that make it tame? Absolutely not. This Shelby that went down for the highest price at Barrett-Jackson is one of only two Super Snakes ever built, and the other one met an unfortunate end when its owner, Tony Maxey, put it into the Pacific Ocean. So this is it, the last of its kind. It still has its original 1965 engine block, original headers, original everything. There you have it, the most expensive, most iconic, and most sought-after cars ever sold at Barrett-Jackson. But now, we want to hear from you. If you had unlimited cash, which one of these would you buy? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more insane car content. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.